Welcome everyone. In today's session, we will see how conditional statements helps us make decisions using if, elif, and the else statements. In the previous session, we learned about built-in functions and how we can use those built-in functions along with the different sequence data structures. In today's session, we are going to have a look at how to make decisions in Python. So Python gives us if, elif, and else statements to control the flow of our code based on certain conditions. And we will also see how we can evaluate these conditions using comparison and logical operators and how we can guide our programs to respond differently upon different inputs for a particular condition. So starting with the if statement. So if statement is the simplest form of a decision, and as the name suggests that if any certain condition occurs, then the code will take a particular action, or the particular section of code will be skipped under the if section. Now here, if you see this example onto the screen, you will notice that there is an indentation here. So this indentation is what Python relies on to define the code block. So if you remember one of the early sessions where we discussed about indentation, so this is where the indentation helps us to define code blocks in a way that if the condition is false, the all the content or all the code that is intended from that particular condition, that particular piece of code will not be executed and that will be skipped. So let's just go and try out this code. So what we are doing here is we are just picking up age equal to 20 if age greater than equal to 18. So what you can do is you can simply do print eligible to vote. Now, how you define the if statement? So the syntax is very simple. You just add an if, then you need to write some condition and you need to add a colon, and after that that will be a code block. So this is my standard if syntax to use the if statement. And here what we defined is age equal to 20 is a variable. Now we just want to check if the variable is greater than 20 and if the particular person based on the age is eligible to vote. So what you can simply do is if age, so this is a sign of greater than equal to, meaning if the value is 18, so let's say, let me just run this first. So you can see it is eligible to vote, meaning age greater than equal to 18. So 20 is obviously greater than, so it passes. Even if it was 18, it's eligible to vote because the condition we wrote here is greater than equal to. So this helps us defining that if not only greater but also equal conditions, and how these conditions are getting evaluated is if I go and print something like this. So let me just comment this all out. I will type in here, let's say 18, then I will type 20, and here I will type 15 greater than equal to 18. So just check the values for all these three different statements. So the output will be true, true, and false. So what we are first checking is 18 greater than equal to 18. So the answer is true, that it is equal to 20 greater than equal to 18. Yes, 20 is greater than 18, so it will also be true. And 15 greater than equal to, so 15 is less, nor 15 is equal to 18. So the output for this will be false. So that is how this kind of operators work. When then talking about the other operator, that is if else statement. So when we want to take one path in a condition, so we have the if statement, but when you have other different paths as well, like in case the condition failed, what you want to do. So in that case, you can simply make use of like a else statement that if a particular condition fails, then run the code that is given in the else statement. So let's say, for example, we have temperature. So if the temperature is greater than 20, just simply print its form outside. Or if this condition is false, then simply print it's cold outside, right? So yeah, as 15 is not greater than 20, it will print out it's cold outside. So that's how the else statement works. In case this condition fails, then the code that is under the indentation of else statement that will be printed. Then comes the if elif else chain. So there can be multiple conditions to check. Now you cannot check all those conditions in a single if statement. There can be cases where you can have multiple conditions to check in the if cases, but not all those conditions would be like you want to take the next action for all those conditions in the same way. So when you have multiple conditions, each condition with a different workflow in the code, so we have something like elif statements. So elif is a shorter version of else if, and if the first if condition is true, then the rest all is kept. But if like the if condition is not true, then it will check for each elif in a sequential manner. And again, if all those conditions are also not true, then finally the else statement will be executed if the else statement exists. So that is how this works. So like a very simple example of this could be a grading system where based on the marks, you can just filter out grade, or like how you want to define the results for your examination. So let's say if I have mark 75, so what here it will do is first it will go and check here if marks is greater than 90. Then it will go and check if marks is greater than equal to 75. So this condition now here it will satisfy. So the answer would be print grade B, and the output will be able to see is grade B. If let's say I make it 74, then it shall be grade D or F. Because if condition, this condition also failed and the if condition also failed. So the code that was in the else statement got executed. Right. Now coming to the comparison and the types of logical operators. So we have certain like operators. We already saw the equal operator. So if you see this particularly, when you assign something to a variable, how it works is you need to type in something like x equal to particular value. But when you're using if statement, you need to use double equal to like check for a condition. Then not equal to will be like this, exclamation equal to, then comparisons would be made like less than, greater than, less than, equal to, or greater than equal to. Then the comes the logical operators. So logical operators you can use like and, or, and not. So when you have two conditions that should be simultaneously combined together to form a condition, like let's say x is greater than 5 and y is less than 10, then in these cases and or should be used, and not is also an operator. So not checks if a particular condition works or not. So we will try to see how this particular operators works combinedly. So let me just show you this particular code. Right. So in this code, we will see that we took a username and password, and we want to just implement a simple login system example here. So here in this example, what we are doing is if username is equal to admin and password is equal to 1234. So here if you see now here we are doing username equal to because here we are not assigning a value to username, but we are making a comparison of the value of the username and what we want to check against that. So username here is admin. So admin equal to admin, it will be true. And here is the end operator. So end operator shall be used when there is a compulsion that both these conditions shall be true. If you had a condition where if any of this one condition shall be true, then you can simply use an or operator that either this condition true is other condition is true, then and all statements shall be implemented. Then password equal to 1234. So that's how you will match. And if both these conditions are true, then and then only login successful will be executed. Otherwise, login fail would be executed. So let's say we take this example. So let me just go and run this. Right. So you can see login successful. You are able to see here. Now let's say I do an or statement here. So for this particular condition, the or will be still executed because in this case both these conditions are true. But now let's say I keep the end, and here if I let's say add 5, then here in this condition login failed would be our answer because the password is different. But if I do an or here, what will happen is it will show login successful because username equal to agreement got true, and true or false equals to like an overall general to like so let me just show you that particular example. Maybe this will be a more clear approach. So what you can think of is true and true, true and false, false, no, not false and true, true or true, true or false, false or false. Right. So we'll just try to print this out. What is the output of this? We will see. So you see, for the first true and true, it's true. True and false, it will be false because one of the conditions is failed. For true or true, it will be true. For true or false, as one condition is true, it will be true. But in case both are falses, the output will not be true because a condition has to be true. So in case both the conditions are false, the output will also be false. So this is how like the AND and OR operators will operate when combining two different conditions. Then coming to the using not in conditions. So not operator checks that if we want to check for the opposite of a condition. So like if is raining is false, then a condition like not is raining becomes true. So how we can think of it is uh, yeah. So I return my code is if not is raining. So let's say is raining will return a false to me. So in that case, if not false, so this not false will be equal to true. So if it is not raining, then let's go for a walk or take an umbrella. That is how this particular code works. That you can add a not statement to revert or to change the direction of how you define a particular condition. Right. So in today's session, we explored how Python can make decisions using the conditional statements. We combined comparison and logical operators to build more smarter workflow into our programs. And understanding this will be a key for interactive applications as well as intelligent applications as well, because using the conditional statement, you can control the flow of your overall program. So yeah, in the next session we will see how to repeat actions using for loops, and we'll also have a brief idea about what is loops. Uh, Loops allow us to process items in lists, strings, and other sequences very easily. So yeah, let's look about loops and for loops in the next session. Thank you for joining today's session. Let's meet in the next session. Have a good day.